everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. So today's video is for those girls out there, or guys if you're watching, who want to start their own business. You guys asked for more entrepreneur, real girl boss type of videos, and so I put together a list of the basic things you're gonna want when you're starting a business. Obviously, there could be a lot more involved in your business, maybe a little less, not really any less. This is like the bare minimum of what you need to have a business. But there could be a lot more that you need to go into depending on your business, but this is where you can start. And from here, you can find the resources to keep going and create the business of your dreams. I'm so excited for you, oh my gosh. So maybe you've had an idea for a business looming around in your head. That's all it is so far. You have the idea. The first thing you want to do is actually figure out a name for it. Is it going to be more of a personal brand? So Hannah Ashton podcast, Hannah Ashton YouTube, hannahashton.com. Is it going to be a personal brand, or is it going to be a product or a service not using your name? So think of a creative name, do a brain dump, brainstorm, figure out first what you are going to call this company. Then you're going to try to mix and match the brand. Sometimes the brand comes after you develop the company a little bit more, you see what the customers like. But for basics, you're going to want like 3 main colors and 2 fonts, usually at least 1 font, but usually 2 fonts that go well together. I talk about branding a lot in my events and when I speak, and so this is just, again, the basics. We're not going to talk too much about branding. There are a lot of other resources about branding, but research branding if you don't know that term. But yeah, colors, fonts, your overall vibe, and look. Create a Pinterest board. It's the best. Yes. Okay, so once you know the name of your company and the way you want it to look, the next real thing, we're going to get into the stuff that's not as fun and glitzy and glam as branding, but you're going to want to get your domain. So a domain on the internet is your URL, hannahashton.com, creativecompany.co, whatever it is. So see if the name you created for your business, if that domain name is available. It may not be available. Someone may have already bought it. And so that's why as soon as you think of the name, you want to see if it's available and buy it. I'm going to leave the place where I got my domain from. I think it's $1 for a month or a year. I can't remember it, but it's worth it if you're going to have a business, because you need a domain to have a website, which is our next step. So once you have your domain, you can create a website. Either I recommend WordPress, but there's also Squarespace, there's Wix, which is a little bit more beginner. But if you really want the full aspect of like a professional website, you're going to need, I recommend wordpress.org and a template. You can use a template from WordPress or purchase an outside template if you're trying to get started. Want to keep costs low, then maybe don't buy a template. You can also hire a web designer if you just don't want to deal with it. It's called freelancing, giving away the stuff that you're not the best at so you can focus on what you're good at. So no shame in that at all. But yeah, domain and website are the next steps. So now you want to register your business. Once you actually have a product or you have your service ready, you're going to want to register it as an actual business in your state. And I will leave the link below for more information on this. It's kind of hard to go into detail on video, and I want to keep this video short. My business is a sole proprietorship, in case you're wondering, but I'm going to leave a link below to where you can compare and see what you need for your business. And this is going to help with liabilities, taxes, all of that. So you're going to get a tax ID number for your business as well, and just all of the government official things, registering your business in your state or your country, whatever it is. Again, I'm going to put some resources in the description box, a lot of the websites that I used if I can find them again. The next thing I would do is make a business bank account. My business bank account is actually a PayPal account. And so I have my debit account through a bank, and then I try to put all of my money that I make through YouTube, through other stuff, all into my PayPal. So I have it separate. And this is so important when it comes to taxes. We're not going to get into that, but when it comes to taxes and being able to show what you bought for your business, so it's tax write-off, and how much money you made in your year, if in your business, you're going to want a separate business account than your personal spending. This is also going to help when you start to pay yourself. So you're going to have this business bank account like it's totally separate from your personal. And so every month or week, every other week, however you want to pay yourself, you're going to go into that bank account and transfer over the money that you think you earned. And this is a big tip for entrepreneurs, is to pay yourself like you are an employee. So instead of just grabbing money from the business account whenever you need it, that can get iffy. You could spend too much. You could not be paying yourself enough. You're going to pay yourself like an actual employee. So decide what your minimum wage is, count your hours, or just say every month, this is how much I'm giving myself out of my business. And it may take you a few months in business. It may take you 6 months, a year to actually make it to the point where you can start paying yourself from your business. At the beginning, it's kind of just going to cover its own expenses. But when you get to that point, it's perfect to have a separate bank account. The next step I recommend, this can be actually at the beginning, would be even better, but it is to find a mentor. This can be an actual business coach where you pay them to have consulting calls, whatever you need. There's so many online business coaches available. I've actually done a few podcast episodes with some business coaches. And so if you want some free advice starting out, you can go check out the Hannah Ashton podcast anywhere you want to listen to your podcast. And there's some episodes there. But this could also be an old professor or a teacher. If you're someone in your family runs their own business, ask them to be your mentor and just reach out to them whenever possible. I've had so many mentors in my business. I've had paid business coaches. I've gone through an entrepreneurship program where I had a few mentors. I've also, while being at Belmont, a lot of upperclassmen have become my mentors. I've kind of reached out to them and got their thoughts. You know, they're like senior entrepreneurship students and I've talked to them. And so really just finding someone who's at a higher level than you of where you want to go, they can be your mentor. Even if it's one step ahead, they can still be your mentor. So find a mentor to just go to whenever you have those questions. Okay, and then the last step for kind of the basics of having a business is to get on people's radar, to get your name out there. Marketing. Marketing is way more than just visuals, but of course you probably are going to want to start with the free stuff like social media. Try to have a social media account on at least one social media, whether you decide that's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. One of those, at least one, is what you're going to need. And it is very hard to start growing a brand's social media from scratch, okay? So this is when you're gonna reach out to anyone you know who has a media presence. Maybe it's your school's newspaper, maybe it's your local news station, maybe it's other podcasts of any size. Like, just tell people what you do, what you sell, how you started. Tell people your story, give them that personal aspect, and reach out to any media source you can get to say your name. And that is how you're going to start building that audience, building that following, and start selling. Like, that's the goal of the business. You got to sell and you got to make it worthwhile. So I hope this video was helpful. Again, it was just a quick rundown of the basics you need to start your business. If you have any questions, I am going to do my best to answer them. I probably don't know all the answers, but I will try to direct you guys into a resource that does. Thank you again for watching, and if you want to, like, let's talk about business in the comments. Tell me what your ideas are. Okay, I love you so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Peace out. Like, out of breath. That was like business 101. How to start a business in under 10 minutes.